Hello everyone and welcome back to Johnny's Scrims. Sorry about the little delay there, working with some technical difficulties and getting all the players into the lobby. But already well, I'm back again, Maran, for game number 4 this week for me. But today I'm with Corrupted as my co-host, aka colorcaster, or whatever you want to call it.
Hello.
Um, Today we're playing ReVamp versus Jamyoole. Jamyoole, of course, being last season's winners. They wanted to show off a pretty good display here if I want to keep holding on to their title as Johnny Scrims champions. We're on Busan for first map. Of course, it was Jamyule's first pick as they are the higher seeded team by default because Revamp are actually new to this league. So I can't wait to see how they perform. Corrupted, any expectations for map 1?
So far, nothing really. I mean, we really can expect a good performance from Jamyoole. Again, as you said, revamp you into the team, see what they bring to the table.
Well, we're about to find out exactly what's going to happen as we are getting things underway. We do see the ball diva dive coming out of Jamule so far, with Revamp opting to run the Sigma Hog, which is a very interesting comp, not one we see very often nowadays. Both traces engaging each other right side as Sinon falls very, very low already on the Zenyatta. Misty taking a bit of poke damage on the left hand side with Wrecking Ball and decides to swing in here, tries to go for the engage. Can he find anything? No, he can't, not just yet. Let's hop on board with this Hog here. Eye Mustache, he gets hacked. Exactly as I do, that's the caster curse right there. Finds the hook onto the Diva. There's the D-Mech. And that might be enough for Revamp to start pushing in here and maybe take the point. That's it. Baby Diva does fall as well to Waifu. And so far, Jamyoole look like they're trying to cap the point. Almost get it, but... Oh, they actually do get it. So Jamyoole get the first cap, but looks like they're going to lose the team fight overall. Just hoping for a bit of percentage here on the clock so that Revamp will have a bit of a harder time winning the point. So far, a very, very scrappy fight. The point does turn over to Revamp as I predicted, but Sinon does find the pick onto Barakank. I don't even know how to say that name. As now both teams fighting on point. The hack does come through from Maisie G. Finds the kill onto Misty and I Mustache. Both fall at the same time. Waifu falling next on the side of Revamp. And it looks like Jamyoole actually taking this fight back. Very, very messy so far. But it looks like Jamyoole are coming out on top. That was a bit of a long fight, Corrupted.
Yep. Here we see that revamp is playing a bit of a meteor team comp, so they have a lot of an easier time just facing Jamyoole straight on. Meanwhile, Jamyoole, they're really looking to separate and like land on
Oh,
those
a
supports.
massive EMP coming out of Macy Jane. Well timed as well with the dive coming out of Fletchworth on that Diva. And already 3 members of Revamp have fallen. Now 4. That's an absolute roll. Very well played team fight out of Jamule. And they now have 5 ults remaining. Only 1 ult used for that fight. That's very impressive.
I think that fight was won by the pick that Steinen got on the enemy Zenyatta there, preventing Barakank from getting that little 10% of ult charge that could have saved them from the EMP. Absolute clutch play by Steinen.
Well, once again, though, both teams are looking really, really good in ult percentage here. We do see Waifu pulling his ult first. The Transcendence, though, does come out from the side of Jamule as well, keeping their team alive. Tommy B does find a pick onto the count as well in the background, but gets taken out by Waifu for it. Rally on both sides here, keeping both teams alive as much as possible, as iMustache does get taken out by Fletchworst, and Silent falls to Flappy as well. We do see a fight on point with this Sigma just trying to contest the point as long as possible, trying to turn over the point in his favor. Looks like he's not going to be able to do it thanks to contest out of that ball, and now the Diva as well. And here comes the nuke out of Fletchworst, just for that remake really, hoping for a kill, but doesn't find anyone. And Tartic still clearing that point, finding his extra few picks as iMustache does fall to Fletchworst as well on point. Looks like a pretty dominating performance so far from Jamyoole.
Especially the hacks coming onto the Sigma there, making him really, but putting him really out of position, really making him an easier target to dive.
Indeed, but Tommy B once again finds a pick onto the enemy Tracer at the very, very start and forces out Transcendence out of Breakhand, and Silent does fall to iMustache, meaning Jamyoole are at a bit of a disadvantage here with the lack of supports. The dive comp has been taken out now by Revamp as well, and looks like they're getting a lot of work done with it as they're taking this fight, taking Jamyoole apart piece by piece, member by member, and actually being able to turn this fight. IMP though available once again from AZG. With almost having the ult on the side of ReVamp as well, but not quite. Be interesting to see how Jamyoole would want to attack this fight. So far, just both balls kind of spamming at each other, forcing each other out, stopping the scouts to just help MazyG get into position here in the enemy backline, looking for the EMP. Will he find it? Looks like he's looking for that Zenyatta. Maybe they have a Transcendence, he thinks. Here comes the bomb, though, as well, out of Fletchwurst. Doesn't find anyone, unfortunately. And there's the EMP onto both supports on the side of Jamyoole, or on the side of ReVamp. And that's nice work out of MazyG to split up Jamyoole, or split up ReVamp very, very effectively there. As Misty as well drops some mines all over point, making it really hard for ReVamp to recontest. And that's a nice clean fight for Jamyoole.
Yep, that EMP on the supports from MazyG was really impactful in the sense that it makes the Zenyatta essentially, it makes him really squishy, only 50 HP left. It makes him a really easy kill. And after the Zen and the Discord are gone, it makes the rest of the fight pretty straightforward for Jamyoole.
Well, now we're moving on to this indoor point where I like to see a lot of brawl. We do see so far ReVamp are switching over onto that Ryan Zarya comp with the Reaper and McCree, Baptiste and Lucio. But Jamyoole still want to run that dive comp. Oh no, they are switching now to the Ryan with the Mei, Zarya, Baptiste. Pretty much mirror comp, just the Mei being a different, with Jamyoole wanting to wall off the enemy Ryan if possible, whereas ReVamp looking for that burst damage with the Reaper. It's on the wall here, coming out of Tommy B. Does find the Rhine. Will it be enough though? No, it won't. Not quite, as the Baptiste does manage to jump over the wall and get that immortality field out onto his Reinhardt. And now both Rhines are swinging on each other on point. Waifu does fall first. Of course, that immortality field was not available. It had to be used earlier on. Silent though is taken out by that McCree on ReVamp's side. MazyG though, putting his team on his back, finds two. Can he find a third? Not quite yet, but Jamyoole are up by one at the moment. The cut though does find another kill. That's, I think, 4 for him this fight. As Jamyoole do drop onto point, and they are capping. They do manage to turn over the point. As Waifu getting walled off. But Tombi unfortunately won't be able to find the kill, as both teams now getting the full regroup in. Jamyoole opting to retake the high ground as ReVamp drops to point. And the High Noon already coming out from the cut. He does find MazyG, who is still only on 70% of that High Noon, so definitely a big McCree difference here. And it looks like the point is definitely going to be turning over further side of ReVamp, who seem to be a lot more comfortable on this brawl comp.
Yeah, ReVamp here a lot more I mean, the cut really putting in a lot of work contesting that McCree on the high ground with the top of his Reaper. That was really a essential part of that fight, not letting the McCree be uncontested on high ground. And another pick actually.
The cut once again absolutely popping off. The Mei wall does come out as well as the Graviton Surge for the side of ReVamp. The Mei wall, although from Jamyoole, was to stop the grab, I believe, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Misty still did get pulled through the wall and was taken out thanks to the amplification matrix that came from that Baptiste. But that is 2 big enough ultimates now out of the side of ReVamp, and now Jamyoole recontesting with that big combo of the Blizzard and Graviton Surge, as well as the High Noon, just to finish off a few extra kills here. Jamyoole, apart from one pick, are absolutely dominating this fight as Mr. X gets as much done as he can. He finds Tommy B, but that won't be enough to win the team fight by himself, as he does fall to MazyG as well, and it looks like now Jamyoole are going to be taking the point. That was a lot of ultimates used though, Corrupted.
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of using Zarya and Mei at the same time. I mean, Graviton and Blizzard, but at least it secured that team fight for them.
Here's the window fire strike. It does find Flappy, which is absolutely massive, and now it's going to be very tricky for ReVamp to actually contest this at all, and it looks like they're going to be going for a soft reset. And that's a nice bit of time in the bank for the side of Jamyoole. Nice play out of Misty and Sinan there. Now the rotation are coming from right side instead of left this time on... oh, a big actually slam out of Misty onto the entire side of ReVamp, stopping the High Noon as well, but the Mr. X with the Death Blossom does find Sinan, as Waifu finds Misty as well, thanks to that beat drop. From both sides, actually, beat drop. It does look like, though, Fletchwurst is going to try to run away here, trying to escape with his energy, but I don't know if he'll be able to. He's getting chased down by Mr. X. We do see Missy pushing very aggressively here, trying to save his Zarya, but looks like he's not going to be able to, and instead going to get picked off himself. Even with the pocketing the immortality field from that Baptiste, it's not going to be enough. And that's a huge stagger.
Both teams are coming up to a grab here, and we're also coming up on a last fight, so whoever's going to get the most value of their grab here is in a good position to take the map.
We do see the window fire strike is available for ReVamp, and they might use it here. Looks like they will, especially with that Graviton Surge. That's a massive fire strike. Thanks to that Grav. Going to be some easy kills, and that's a team wipe for ReVamp there, which it's going to put a lot of pressure on Jamyoole to even touch the point. We do see Fletchworth switching over onto that Zarya. The slam as well, or onto that D.Va, I mean. The slam in spawn does slow down Jamyoole, and looks like they're not going to be able to touch at all. And Tartic and the Lucio almost making it, but too little too late. Well, it looks like it's all tied up for this map, which means, you know, it's looking like a very close game. We might not see another 3-0 today. Kind of hope not, to be honest.
This map is a bit more open, so we're expecting to see a bit more dive, and as we saw on the first map, Jamyoole looked a bit more comfortable on it, but I guess we'll see.
Jamyoole aren't well known for running the double bubble as well, but right now they're opting instead to run that ball D.Va, which is right now arguably a stronger comp. But once again, we do see ReVamp on the more comfort picks, which we have seen winning the league so far, running that Rhine. Oh no, they've switched over to the Sigma Hog, which again is another fairly strong comp. Arguably not as strong as it used to be, but once again, we'll see how they run it.
Oh.
Let's hop on board with Misty here on the ball, camping that Mega. Looking to get some ult charge for his supports, and oh, we have a pause. Looks like we have a DC. What do you think so far of this game?
That is unfortunate. So far we've seen Jamyoole really, how do you say this? Really capitalize on whatever openings ReVamp show. Like, especially on the dive on the first map, even though at first ReVamp capped the point, like Jamyoole was very patient and, you know, taking the aggression and backing away, playing it slow, to then recontest it just 10% later and win the fight, giving them that a good 50% before the point is even touched again.
Jamyoole definitely playing quite smart here, really showing that they know what they're doing. But now the fight is back on. Let me just change the screen once again. Let's hop on board here with Tommy B, see what he can do. He's getting some spam here on Echo, getting a lot of ult charge right there, spamming into those tanks with that right click. And already almost halfway to copy, which is pretty good. So far, no kills apart from just now. Missy swinging in with that Wrecking Ball, finds two, as Fletchworth picks up the third as well. And that's a team kill almost on the way for Jamyoole. If they could find that Tracer, and yes they can, sign on finding the final pick. The point as well already been capped by Jamyoole, and now we do see the D.Va Ball and Echo all setting up on high ground together, as well as Maisie G just setting up in that little corner on the right, waiting for someone to push in on that high ground. Looks like though Jamyoole are being forced off the high ground by just Mr. X on his own. I'm not sure if they disengaged too early there. I think they did in my opinion, but looks like they want to engage as a full team instead with that Brigitte on hand, especially against that ball. But iMoustache does find Sinan, but a nice boop out of Fletchworth does take down iMoustache as well. Tommy B finds the kill onto Mr. X as well as Maisie G finds Breakhank in the background. And looks like Jamyoole going to be taking this fight as well, despite the first pick going to ReVamp. A nice.
It was a very nice job from Jamyoole here to wait for ReVamp to start rotating and then catch them in that rotation and pick off their support really easily.
Maisie G here with the pulse bomb available. Let's see what he can get done with it. He might look for that Brigitte or Zenyatta if he can in the backlines. He's in a perfect position to do so, but first the bomb coming out of that D.Va does find Mr. X and Waifu. Absolutely massive bomb in the corner. Very well placed out of Fletchworth, as already ReVamp are going to be forced to go for a full regroup here, as that Zenyatta does fall as well as Flappy. And Fletchworth putting his team on his back this fight, gets 4 already. And Jamyoole 90% decapping this point, and it looks like this fight is going to be very, very one-sided.
Yeah, they definitely have the ult advantage here.
The pulse bomb does come through out of the cut, but the cut, it's not enough. He misses it, unfortunately, on both sides using their copies out of Echo as well. Mr. X opting to go for that Diva copy. Often it is better to copy a tank, bit of extra damage, and tanks often better ults than those DPS. And let's see, will it be worth it? Looks like maybe it will. Does find Tommy B, and also Trenton is out of Sign-On as well, is out and over. So there's a bit of a struggle here on point. Ooh, ReVamp almost C9ing it there, but iMoustache finds two, Misty and Antarctic falling to those mines as Sign-On as well falls, and Fletchworth goes for the reset, jumping off the map. Thanks a bit of help from Flappy's whip as well. And finally,
Well, that fight was really unfortunate for Jamyoole there. They definitely had the auto advantage. I think it did start going downhill when they went a bit too aggressive, especially with the Echo ult and the copy dying really fast.
yeah, he did copy Tracer, which is obviously the squishiest tier in the game, so it's a high risk but high reward copy. Unfortunately, the reward was not there for Tommy B this time around, as already as well he's taken out by Mr. X in the air, losing that aerial battle thanks to Discord Orb from that Zenyatta on his team. And now we do see Maisie G going for the flank as well on Tracer. He wants to try to find one of those supports, catch them out, and hopefully get the assassination on them, as the Tracer had done so well in previous rounds, but looks like he won't be able to find it. He is forced out and taken out as well by the cut. So now once again, Jamyoole are probably going to be forced to regroup here. Although Tracer is a pretty quick hero, we'll be able to get back into the fight fairly soon. Misty as well though is getting chased around in the enemy spawn, as I don't know if he'll be able to escape here. If Misty dies there, that's an absolutely massive stagger. But Jamyoole deciding to engage with their ball here. Tommy B though falls in the process. Once again, first pick. Waifu goes for that Sig ult, almost got a big one, but unfortunately missed everything. As Jamyoole were able to spot it and scatter quick enough. Macy G though does fall as well as Sign-On. And once again, a very dominating fight for the side of ReVamp.
Yes, that in that Echo duel there, we definitely saw that Mr. X got a lot more pocketing than Tommy V, and unfortunately that marked Tommy V's downfall, making this a last fight scenario.
Yeah, definitely going to be very interesting, especially because those ults are definitely in the favor of ReVamp here. Having 3 ults on the board, and there's actually nothing on the side of Jamyoole. The copy coming out of Mr. X here. He copies the Diva once again, and with the cut's help, does find 2 kills. And it looks like here ReVamp are going to be taking map 1, as Jamyoole are struggling to even contest this point any longer. And what looked very one-sided for Jamyoole ended up turning completely around, and ReVamp absolutely dominating that map.
How's a very clean retake of the map. They capped it at 9. I think they were down. I mean, I think Jamyoole was up to 99 when they capped the point there.
They were, yeah.
Really efficient. All rotations and all around just knew what to use what and when to use it.
Waifu on ReVamp with the play of the game. Of course, it is this Fire Strike into the grab with the window as well. I mean, how could that not be play of the game? It was an easy triple kill. So, definitely very interesting map. It was quite close overall, of course, 99 to 99 in the last point. But there was a lot of very, very one-sided fights.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. The one that sticks out the most to me is when Jamyoole had, I think, 5 ults on the board compared to 3 for ReVamp, and they still weren't able to close out the map. It was a really close one at the end. It was 1-1, 99 to 99. But this is definitely better than than getting 2 maps with 0 on the board for one team.
Indeed,
It's
it
looking
is.
closer than we thought.
Jamyoole, though, probably not very happy with that, especially being the winners of last season. They want to show up very, very good today, especially because they did lose their Expedition map earlier in the week. They did play quite well in their first 2 maps, but they ended up getting reverse swept. So they really came into this match wanting to win, but ReVamp already taking map 1 away and showing that while they're new to this league, they're definitely a team to contend for the championship title. So I'm going to be watching their career here with a lot of interest, and looks like we're going to be moving on to Havana.
Traveling to Havana. Initiating match.
This map definitely has longer sight lines, so I wouldn't be surprised if either team opts in for the double sniper. Another thing you can do here, especially on attack, is hug the left wall and then just run a brawl and then let chaos ensue on the other side of that wall. That's definitely a viable strategy here. I doubt we'll see it though.
I'd hope
Um,
to see a bit of double bubble, hopefully, out of Jamyoole. I mean, we've seen it a lot in the past, so and we've seen him play it quite well in the past. So I hope they do play it again here. Hopefully, be able to take this map for themselves. And we do see Fletchworst is on the Zarya, but Misty going on the Rhine instead.
Incoming
Looks like they're running a brawl comp here out of Jamyoole on the attack, and not even running a sniper. Tommy B on the Mei, and Macy G is on that McCree. And on the other side, Mr. X is the only sniper in this game running that Hanzo, who obviously very good in this map with those long sight lines, but will it be enough to capitalize on these sight lines? You also see that ball and Sigma comp coming through
4,
for the side
3,
of
2,
ReVamp as well,
1.
which hopefully will help the damage and help out Mr. X getting a few extra picks here and there. So far, Jamyoole just pushing onto the payload, getting all 6 on payload, pushing as fast as they can. Not wanting to go for any split flanks, which is very, very smart running a brawl comp like this. Play together, play close, so it's hard to get flanked and hard to get split up. So far, they've already got as far as the corner, and now the ball coming in, looking for a boop. He gets everyone, but looks like Jamyoole wanted to rotate to that high ground anyway. And so far, no limbs have been made. However, it looks like iMustache might fall here on the ball. Yes, he does, thanks to the Mei wall out of Tommy B, keeping him trapped in that room. And now this high ground belongs to Jamyoole, and it's going to be very hard to force a brawl comp off, so ReVamp decide instead to just rotate completely and take a more defensive position and wait for iMustache to get back. Tommy B decides to stay on the high ground as well, duel that Mei, try to keep him away. Of course, you have to be very careful if you're running Tracer versus Mei, because you can get one-tapped in the face. As now hopefully we'll see another fight breaking out on point. We do see iMustache engaging once again, but an early coalescence out of Sinon. We'll be able to keep his team topped up, and as well as keeping ReVamp at bay. Let's hop on board here with Maisie G, looking for some shots in on that ball, and he does find the limb eventually, as Misty as well clears the front lines, finding Flappy and Waifu as well. And now Maisie G finds the flashbang, and there's the headshot onto the cut as well. And nice clean point A for Jamyoole. And they have about 5 minutes on the clock for point B as well.
They did a really good job. Jamyoole did a really good job there of just rushing the immobile targets such as the Sigma, and I believe it was a Brig.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was really good for them.
Mei wall out Tommy B
Using
stops
the Mei ult.
stops any disengages out of the high ground for Jamyoole, for ReVamp, but the dragon from Mr. X does find a pick as well. Misty finding Flappy with the pin, but Waifu retaliating, getting Sinon and Misty as well with the Fire Strike and Hammer combo. Tommy B does find 2, but it's not going to be enough, as iMustache is able to find him with that Baby Diva. And it looks like Jamyoole are losing this point so far, finding it a bit more of a struggle to actually cap. Already the engaging coming through from Jamyoole, but a massive shatter out of Waifu there. Does find almost everyone on the side of Jamyoole, and the Transcendence though as well comes out from the side of ReVamp as well, just to keep the backline alive through that Mei ult. I'm not sure if it was entirely necessary. iMustache does still fall, and Transcendence being such a big ult, it's kind of a waste to use it for something so little.
It seems here this it was the same case for the cut, where they're just trying to look. They're looking to use their ultimates to get back to spawn and switch the heroes that more compatible with that brawl comp.
It appears you are correct, as they do switch over to that Baptiste, and with the Lucia speed boosting him in, but will they be there on time? Looks like they just about will, with the Coalescence as well coming out of Sinon very, very early here, but he's pushed out of position. He's going to be struggling to get in position here with that Coalescence, but Macy G does find that Baptiste with the High Noon. The Immortality Field not available now for the side of ReVamp, as both Ryans counterpin each other and are on the floor, but it looks like there's a lot more follow-up on the side of Jamyoole. Tommy B as well on that Genji now does find the final kill onto iMustache, as Fletchworst with that high charge is able to beam down Mr. X.
I think that was a pretty easy fight for Jamyoole. They essentially fought it out of 6v4. The supports from ReVamp were not in the fight when the engagement happened. Still coming back from spawn.
Fletchworst playing quite aggressively here without his main tank. Finally, Misty does get there, but the high ground is cleared for ReVamp by that dragon out of Mr. X. A big slam out of Misty, but the Immortality Field is there to keep his team alive. Waifu, though, does charge in and does fall. Is punished for that charge as the Diva Bomb comes out from Imusash as well. Does find Tommy B, but will that be enough to actually win the team fight here? As Misty is flashbang right click, but doesn't fall thanks to the support of his team. Flappy, though, biting the bullet as Fletchworth takes him down and is now beaming everyone on payload. Misty running around, swinging, doing as much damage as he can, but the slam coming out of Waifu as he gets back to recontest. Finds Misty and takes him out, and now it looks like ReVamp might be able to hold on to this, as it's just the Moira left on point. Tommy B coming in for the recontest. He actually pulls his blade. Can he find anything with it? Looks like no, he will not be able to. As
the classic
flashbang comes
1v6
through.
blade. That's a good one.
I mean, it was a 1v3 to be fair. He had a bit more of a chance, but
1v3.
even so, a nice flashbang coming out of the cut as well there to just shut down that blade fairly quickly. Tommy B as well, though, using that ult and then switching right off again, going on to the Mei. Jamyoole rotating, taking the low ground here. Rotating straight to the point. And the Graviton Surge as well is absolutely massive up on the high ground. It finds 4, but the Immortality Field is there as well as that Mei wall, lifting the Baptiste out, allowing him to be able to heal his team a bit easier, but it's not going to be enough as Fletchworth is able to beam down those targets in the Grav, as well as Maisie G following up. And Jamyoole do finally cap this point, and it looks like now they're going to be switching comp as well.
Coming into that fight, ReVamp didn't have any ultimates to answer to the Flightworth's Graviton. That was a very clean engage.
Maisie G as well with the early pick onto Mr. X. Mr. X wanted to get that stone arrow in, give a bit of information to his team while they're regrouping, but unfortunately he was taken out by a clean headshot out of Maisie G. We do see the double shield, double sniper comp coming out of Jamyoole, which is a comp I hate to play against in my games, but I mean, it is a strong comp, that's why I hate to see it, so let's see what they can do here. Maisie G is on the off angle here with the Widow, looking for another kill onto Mr. X. Mr. X, though, does see the Widow, and now with his own arrow, pushes Maisie G away. Oh, and the rotation as well, the flank out of the cut, looking for a pick on the Widow, but unfortunately isn't quite able to. The mirror comp does come out from ReVamp as well, as Mr. X does find a kill onto Antarctic, on that Zenyatta as well, which is a big pick for ReVamp, who might be able to push this aggressively now, with Jamyoole being down in a support. Actually, Jamyoole now down 2 supports, the cut finding Sinan as well. And here comes the aggression, the tanks pushing up onto the payload, but of course running this double shield comp, it's going to be very tricky to actually push the Jamyoole tanks away. Hop on board here with Tommy B on the Hanzo. See if he can get any picks. Yes, he can. He finds Imusash, but Imusash does also trade for Misty in the process. Immortality Field out as well from that Baptiste on Jamyoole's side. Not really to any value though. Tommy B wasn't even low when he was given that Immortality Field. He didn't take any damage while in it either. And now both teams getting a full regroup in for the last fight, as that pull combo comes in from Jamyoole, looking for that Widowmaker, but unfortunately not able to find the kill. As now Jamyoole get to point and are starting to push that cart. Nice pull dragon combo coming in out of ReVamp. Unfortunately, not able to kill anything other than a Baptiste Immortality Field, but at least it was able to force that out. Fletchworth does fall though to the cut. He rotated up onto the high ground on that Widowmaker and is now getting pushed by Tommy B, and Tommy B does find the headshot that he needed to find for his team. Misty though still does fall as well to Mr. X. And Mr. X actually putting his team on his back here, finding Tommy B in the flank as well. And it's just Antarctic contesting on payload with the Transcendence, but that's not going to last very long, as soon as that Transcendence drops, he is also taken out along with Sinon. Flappy as well, getting a lot of work done, getting that whip shot onto the Widowmaker. Switches onto the ball, but won't be able to make it to the point on time.
It was a very, very solid attack from Jamyoole up to the third point, sorry. Even though they get a fast push up to until the fight takes place in the castle, where really the defenders here have a massive advantage with the high grounds on both sides and a lot more opportunity for off angles, which makes it a lot harder for the DPS on attack to get any picks.
Yeah, we did see Tommy B trying to climb over that castle a few times to try and force the enemy snipers off the high ground, but unfortunately he was able to get one most fights, but it's hard for Hanzo to 1v2 or even more a lot of the time. So he wasn't able to get the enough value that he needed to get, unfortunately. But as you said, it's very, very tricky on the attack, and this map, especially third point, is very defense favored, I find. But we do see Jamyoole running that Pharah Mercy comp actually this time on the defense. As
I think what we'll see from. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say that ReVamp are keeping running that Sigma ball comp, but this time running the Ash with that Hanzo to hopefully get a few extra picks.
I think we're gonna try. Or we're gonna see Jamyoole attempt the spawn camp here. The Pharah can just stay permanently on top of the spawn, shooting down rockets for free essentially, unless they send someone up there to contest.
Well, it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen as Tommy B just takes a rocket shot up into the air and is just playing right above that spawn right now as he's spamming into that spawn door, trying to find a pick if he can. Unfortunately, though, ReVamp are playing very, very slow and hiding in their spawn, waiting for the opportune moment to push out, waiting for that fire to rotate, and they do just that. And also they switch over to that Ryan Zarya comp as they push out in a much more brawly manner and just try to take out the tanks from Jamyoole and to be able to force their way out of spawn. And the cut as well finds the kill to Tommy B, but Misty does trade it off on with getting 2 kills actually. Waifu and Barrett can't go on that Zenyatta, or on that Baptiste I should say. Does get taken out as well. And Tartik being able to find that res onto Tommy B, meaning that Jamyoole have a much stronger chance of keeping the spawn camp going. You see this time ReVamp deciding to take out that the right side of spawn here. As the shatter does come out of Misty, does find iMustache, who wasn't able to get behind the Rhine barrier on time. As the retaliation shatter coming out of Waifu, a nice counter pin by Misty to stop Waifu from getting that pin, but unfortunately it looked like it might not be enough thanks to that amplification matrix from ReVamp getting enough damage to clean up a lot of Jamyoole's members. But the Graviton Surge out of Fletchworst is enough to clean up ReVamp, as now it is just a 3v6 as soon as the rest of ReVamp come out of spawn. Jamyoole holding on as long as they can to try and contest this point, keeping that that clock ticking down. As the Pharah actually getting back to the fight now, and the Mercy popping Valkyrie as well, just to keep the team topped up at the beginning of this fight. Both Ryans once again just swinging each other on the side as Fletchworth is trying to get as much time as he can with that high charge area, but here's a massive, massive barrage coming out of Tommy B, finding 3 as the Bob does come out of the cut, but unfortunately won't be able to find more than 1 kill, and that's going to be rezzed by Antarctic. I'll try hop on board with Tommy B again if my game will let me. Looks like it won't. Instead, we're with this Baptiste, who's just healing up his team. Nice mortality field as well, keeps his team alive, but a huge Graviton Surge does come out of iMustache, and thanks to Mr. X's High Noon, does find 2 kills. It looks like finally ReVamp will be able to escape that spawn trap and start pushing the payload.
Here, once the defenders start losing players, the spawn advantage really is exacerbated, as they're literally playing outside their spawn. So yeah, here Jamyoole just tries to wear down the clock and make ReVamp use as many ults as possible.
Jamyoole now do rotate, try to take that high ground for their team, allowing the DPS just to get a little bit more work done than usual. We do see Macy G is watching for that tracer flank for as long as possible. And now, finally, Jamyoole do drop off the high ground with the Graviton Surge as well. The Shatter being mostly blocked by Misty. And so far, no kills coming through. Misty does land a Shatter of his own, but unfortunately, no kills still coming through from that. But the Pulse Bomb does come through from the cut, finds Misty. But the cut biting a bullet for that. Macy G finding the kill. Fletchworth as well, though, falling to iMustache in that Zarya 1v1. iMustache just having a bit more support. As Macy G does find another pick, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as Wife is just going to be able to swing on point and find those kills. Tommy B trying to stall as long as possible, but is taken out as well. And it looks like this point might be going over for the side of ReVamp. Misty, though, does get onto the point as Wrecking Ball, able to stall for a little bit longer before having to roll away, being very, very low health there. Lucky to be able to escape with his life. And now a Graviton Surge coming out of iMustache. Does find Fletchworst, as well as Sinan now does fall. It looks like ReVamp so far are winning this fight as well, with only Misty left alive at the very end, and that's not going to last very long. Spinning to win doesn't often work, especially at the higher ranks, so it looks like ReVamp have finally taken point A. Although I believe overtime might have been forced, or very close to at least. Up on board again with Mr. X. He was a nice little sonar arrow, being able to tell his team exactly where Jamyoole are regrouping and re-pushing from. And he might try to go for a cheeky dragon here, even though there's no combo ult available, and there it is. But unfortunately, the enemy team are too close, and the dragon not able to actually find any damage at all. May ult, though, does come out from Tommy B as well. As well as the shatter out of Waifu does find a few, but not enough, as Macy G does retaliate with the High Noon, finds 2. But unfortunately, before that happened, 3 of Jamyoole's members were taken out. And now it's just Tommy B left running for his life. Can he escape? His Rhine is there to help him, shield him out. And looks like Tommy B does escape with his life just about. Tommy B disengaging quite nicely there. Allowing a regroup and a recontest for Jamyoole. And the May wall quite nice here. Does wall off both tanks from the support line. As Fletchwurst actually takes a few bullets from that new Hanzo machine gun ability through the amplification matrix and does fall first, followed by Maisie G. And Mr. X absolutely dominating here, especially with that matrix from his Baptiste. Finds 4 kills, if not 5. And is this another one? Yes, it is. Misty does fall as well. Misty touching point, trying to delay as long as possible. Unfortunately, not going to be able to stall the point long enough for the team to regroup. And now Jamyoole looks like they want to try and regroup as quick as possible. Tommy B just dying on point, so he can probably switch over to that Hanzo once again. As Fletchworth just hiding behind that wall, don't want to get caught out by a sniper. But Sun Arrow is there as well. He's being forced out by the Tracer. He might even get picked off here. The Immortality Field, though, tossed very far away by that Baptiste, who does switch over to Zenyatta anyway. Pulse one as well out of the cut, who's probably going to go and switch here now as well. Does force out the Immortality Field, though, for his team first. Both Graviton Surges now being used as well. Neither team wanting to drop these ults completely uselessly. The Dragon does come through from Mr. X as well. Unfortunately, not going to be able to find anyone, as Misty does find Eye Mustache thanks to that Graviton Surge. The cut, though, retaliates, finding Tommy B, and Mr. X finding Misty as well, who went a little bit too aggressively into the enemy spawn. And now it's just a fight on point. Jamyoole trying to stall for as long as possible without dying. Flappy, though, does find the pick onto Antarctic, whipping him up right off the map. Saying bye-bye, Lucio, as Mr. X does find Macy G as well on that Widowmaker. And now that ball pick as well out of Eye Mustache, slamming on point, lifting those few members of Jamyoole who are hiding there right up into the air, into view of ReVamp's teammates, and they're going to be taken out as well. The cut also finding a late pick onto Misty as well. That's another big stagger. Jamyoole are going to be having a very, very hard time recontesting this. Macy G is on the Widowmaker, but it's going to be very tricky for him to shut down the cut on that Tracer, who's been absolutely popping off in these last few fights. Macy G already dove as well by the Hamster, and Tracer combo is taken out. Unfortunately, not able to grapple away into spawn in time, as Mustache goes on to point next, finds Tommy B as well, and looking for that Baptiste kill if he can. Looks like he's not going to be able to get the kill by it just yet. There it is, but before the kill came through, it did boop him off the payload as well, stopping the recontest. And looks like ReVamp taking map 2 for themselves.
Play of the game.
Hello, corrupted.
Oh yeah, sorry. There on the third point, we definitely we see Jamyoole switching off to that double shield with, I think, double shield, double sniper again, which, as we saw on ReVamp's defense, was really, really strong. But unfortunately, the stagger pick on the Orisa by the cut made the setting up for a proper defense very, very difficult. And since ReVamp only need to push it to the point where the fight is not yet in the castle, where the defenders have a massive advantage, it made their attack a lot easier and more straightforward than Jamyoole.
And that does put ReVamp so far 2 up over Jamyoole, which is a somewhat unexpected result. Of course, I didn't really know what to expect coming into this match because, again, ReVamp is new to this league. But Jamyoole did win last season, and so far, from what we've seen, not looking as strong.
Definitely, yeah.
I've seen now Jamyoole once again picking the map. And I believe it's 2CP next. If I'm not
No, it
mistaken.
is
Or no,
hybrid actually.
Hybrid next. My apologies. Kind of hope to see some Kings Row here. Either that or maybe Hollywood, but definitely I want to see some Kings Row. Maybe some Brawl or some double bubble out of Jamyoole, who, once again, they need to win this map or they're going to be losing this match for another 3-0, 3 in a row.
Hope
Um,
not.
hope not. Well, I both hope not and kind of hope yes because my voice is getting a little bit dead right now.
Ah.
Casting for 4 days in 1 week is quite a lot of a strain on your voice. So we'll see how things go. Uh, Jamyoole, though, they have decided to pick Eichenwalde, and definitely a map I do like to see. Another map that is quite good for double bubble and quite good for Winston in general, especially on that second point.
Ready for battle.
Jamyoole as well opting for the attack first, as ReVamp are on the defense. Looks like they're running that brawl comp with the Rhine Zarya, um,
Attackers
while
incoming in 30
Jamyoole
seconds.
are running that ball diva once again, which they've been looking quite good on so far. Especially on Busan. Unfortunately, weren't able to win the entire map, but still being able to hold a few close fights and hold the point for a little while at least. So gonna be interesting to see how this map plays out.
Yeah, already we see the difference, and it looks actually like someone isn't in the lobby.
Yeah, the cut
So
there
looks
waiting
like one
very, very
again.
late before picking a hero.
Yep,
Looks like they might be AFK,
does seem
unfortunately.
like it.
The cut probably going to be forced onto something like Tracer now, even if that's not what they normally play, just to get to the fight quick enough.
Yeah, that seems like a possibility here. I don't think Tracer would be the right pick in this situation, but at least they'll at least definitely have to pick a quick hero. On the side of Jamyoole though, it does look like a Sombra Tracer dive with a Zen break, so it's very much a surround and conquer type of comp. I wouldn't expect them to run in and face revamp straight on.
Yeah, I definitely expect not, especially, I mean, they don't know that it's the 5v6 here, but it is still quite an aggressive comp. Of course, very, very high mobility, and if Revamp play too aggressively here, they're going to get punished very, very badly for it, as they are going to be 5v6 for the first fight, or at least the start of it. Actually, I should swap screen. Revamp, though, so far, looking quite good, considering they're a new team here. We've never seen them before, but being able to play up against Jamyoole like this and even be winning against Jamyoole is not something that we can understate either. Because
Yeah,
Jamyoole,
honestly,
we know they're not
sorry,
a
go ahead.
terrible team. We know Jamyoole, they did win last season, so definitely Revamp looking to be a contender for the win here.
Yeah, definitely pleasantly surprised by how revamp played so far. Um, on the Havana as well as Busan, they
2, 1.
close maps, but
Attackers incoming.
convincing wins
Defend
by revamp.
objective A.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We do see Waifu playing quite aggressive here, and the cut does pick up McCree, which he's going to be very, very late getting to the fight here, as Jamyoole already taking position up and behind the side of Revamp. Revamp, though, holding the ground, waiting for the McCree to get back before going aggressive in any way, which is exactly what they needed to do here. And already they force out Macy G as well, who has to teleport back behind his own team. And now the choke belongs once again to Revamp, who are able to just hold with that Ryan Zarya comp, especially with that Junkrat spam as well. Flappy actually finds the kill onto Misty as well, who must have pushed it too aggressively, or else just some Lucio spam was able to find that pick.
I just like to point out that Zarya by iMustache, that bubble by iMustache onto Waifu was very. Oh, there wasn't there that
Once
time,
again,
but
that bubble, not perfectly timed to stop the hack, but was perfectly timed to stop any damage coming through after the hack. And Waifu, while hacked, was able to stay alive for a very long time, but the cut and Mr. X both popping off here, finding a kill each right before the transcendence comes through for Sinon. And Sinon does find the pick onto the cut, but unfortunately he's going to be too little too late, as Mr. X and iMustache clean up the rest of the fight there. And now Flappy running back to speed boost his teammate back to the fight once again. We do see now Tommy B as well switching over onto that Pharah as Antarctic switches onto the the Mercy as well, hoping to fly over the top, seeing if they can get anything done here. iMustache opting to solo ult that ball and take him out of the fight, forcing a regroup already from Jamyoole until they can get a pick. Fletcher's though wanting to go aggressive here, probably from call out Tommy B saying that Mr. X is falling low there on that Junkrat. And that's a 1-for-1 so far. High Noon though coming out of the cut does find Antarctic. That's an absolutely massive pick though. Silent does find that Baptiste as well as finding iMustache on that Zarya, as that bomb also finds a kill onto the cut on that McCree. Misty as well, just slamming on point, trying to get some damage done here. The hack coming through onto Waifu, that's going to be enough to find the kill. And now that Lucy's just stalling for as long as possible. Flappy though does eventually fall. Mr. X though does find the pick onto Tommy B, who pushed in a little bit too aggressively into that small room on the bottom left, and is punished for it. But the res is going to be there from Antarctic, and Tommy B is back once again in the fight.
I think that beat was to maybe keep Waifu alive long enough so he could look for a shatter and maybe turn the fight around. But it definitely did not go their way. That a bit unfortunate.
It looks like it didn't. And a nice boop as well coming out of Tommy B, knocking the cut and Waifu up off the high ground, which should allow their team to push in a little bit more aggressively. But Misty though getting caught out of position once again, taken out this time by that Baptiste, and the tire does come out of Mr. X as well, finds Antarctic, and unfortunately no self-res available, so looks like Jamyoole are going to have to wait before pushing too aggressively here. Tommy B though still want to get a bit of spam damage over on the right hand side with that Pharah, as Misty struggling to get onto the high ground there on the ball. Does manage to force the drop out of Waifu, who gets Sam on point, but looks like didn't actually hit anybody, and Misty getting caught, forcing the trance out of his own teammate there just to keep him alive. And now the EMP, Mines, and Barrage all coming out at once does find the kills they need, but I think that was a bit of an over-ulting there on the side of Jamyoole, who looks like they have won this fight so far. It's just that Ryan to take out at the very end, as well as that Baptiste, who are stuck in a room. They do fall, but once again, I think they over-ulted. I'm not sure if that communication was quite there for them.
They definitely could have just won the fight with Trance and EMP, but maybe the fire ult was there to really, how do you say this?
Secure the kills.
Exactly, yeah.
Even so, Fire Ult is quite a big one to use, and so is EMP and Trance, so maybe a bit of a lapse in communication there from Jamyoole, who might be getting a little bit tilted here at this performance so far today. The cut, though, does fall to Tommy B's spam, and there's not going to be any res for that, but Waifu getting caught out of position, or catching Sign out of position, I should say, trying to push the payload and getting the pick there as well. The bomb does come through out of Fleischwurst, but it's not going to be enough, as it doesn't find any kills, with Tommy B once again finding another pick onto that Baptiste, which is definitely going to slow down the recontest. And Tommy B again finding Flappy as well. That's 3 kills for him so far this fight. The cut does get back as well, but gets taken out once again by Tommy B. And now the brawl on point is breaking out. Tommy B just saying no more, as he barrages and just takes out everyone trying to stall that point. Tommy B definitely putting his team on his back.
That was really beautiful positioning from Tommy B, like positioning on top of the door where the defenders are coming out of, essentially shooting for free. Very hard to contest there, and he played his advantage really well.
Yeah, definitely understanding his how heavy he can go on that fire and how aggressive he can be, but also understanding that he needs to play that corner and stay out of that poke range of that McCree to stay alive and get maximum value, which he definitely did very, very well. We do see, though, the recontest is coming through now from the side of Jamyoole, who are running that brawl comp, which is arguably a lot better on this third point of Eichenwalde, as the mines comes through from Misty, but they're just going to get broken straight away by Waifu's shield. But that means Waifu does not have a shield available for the team fight here, unless it lasts a little bit longer, in which case he'll get it back. But the hack does come through. Unfortunately, not going to be enough, as the High Noon as well does come out for a bit of zoning out of the cut. Doesn't find a kill by itself, but Misty is caught out of position and taken out, and Silent falling shortly after. Tommy B does get a fadeaway kill onto Waifu, but he's going to be able to get back to the fight by the time this next fight breaks out properly. The EMP barrage is available, and the EMP bomb as well as Transcendence for Jamyoole here, so they have a very good chance of winning this team fight as well, especially since the beat is not there for Flappy just yet. The bomb coming through, and here comes the EMP as well, and that's a big bomb, finding 2 already. Tommy B as well opting to use that barrage. He wants those extra few picks, as Flappy gets hacked on point as well and taken out. Actually, he hasn't been taken out just yet, as Mr. X finds the kill onto Tommy B with that tire, And now also that amplification matrix for that Junkrat up on the high ground as well, meaning Jamyoole are going to have to play very, very smart to avoid those Junkrat bombs because they can one-shot a squishy. And it looks like the recontest is going to be able to come through from ReVamp to force Jamyoole off the point at least for a little while longer, as they can hopefully push this to overtime or even full hold it from here. Misty again tries to go for the re-engage with that slam. Unfortunately, not going to be able to actually hit anybody with it. It's Transcendence for the engage, and as well as the Valkyrie comes through for Jamyoole. The beat and it's a beat well timed there to keep the team alive on ReVamp, as Waifu does pop his ult as well on that Sigma to kill any stragglers after that Transcendence. And now the final bit of damage coming through from the rest of ReVamp does find an extra few picks for their side, as they're able to force Jamyoole out, and now playing very, very aggressive with that window as well to just spam at Jamyoole's spawn and try stop any contest. We do see though MacyG on that Stamber wanting to get that C9, and is there going to be anyone fast enough to recontest the point? Looks like yes, there will. Flappy getting to point just in time and being able to stop that hack as well. The ball on Misty coming through as well with the minefield. Can he find any picks? Yes, he can. He finds Flappy. And looks like he might be able to spin to win on point here, keeping everyone off the point for a very, very long time here, as the EMP does stop the high noon as well coming out of the cut. MacyG playing very, very well there, and now Tommy B as well back with the barrage. Can he find anything with it? Yes, he can. He finds the cut, but still that ball stalling on point for as long as possible finally does fall, as well as Flappy getting taken out by that Diva bomb and stopping him from recontesting the point as well. Jamyoole do
I
cap
definitely
point
don't.
3, but it is overtime.
I definitely don't disagree with that with that Transcendence there with 40 seconds left on the clock. I think the purpose behind it was to maybe win the fight before overtime, to at least to make it so that if ReVamp closes out the map with more time, they won't be into
Into a
one
draw
pick
or
attack
lose.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Definitely well played actually by both teams for the most part. We did see a little bit of overulting, I think, out of Jamyoole. There might be a bit of a lack of communication there, or else they just wanted to secure the kills all in one go and wanting to win big bulk team fights with all their ultimates and then charge up ultimates again, which is what they did appear to do a few times, running the bomb, EMP, and barrage all at the same time. They are once again running that pharmacy comp, but this time, actually, I think they're running the exact same comp as they did on their attack, but ReVamp once again running the brawl.
Mr. X opting to mirror the Sombra. It's gonna make Misty, definitely gonna make Misty's life a lot more challenging. It means that he can't just roll through for free anymore.
He
Which
definitely would have to
it wasn't
coordinate
the
his
case. They
dives.
still had a creep, but it definitely is gonna be a lot harder from now
It's
on.
gonna be a lot harder. He's gonna have to coordinate his dives properly with his diva to be able to hopefully not get hacked or flashbanged as he rolls through or slams in. Do you see Misty setting up on the high ground? MacyG as well with him, looking for the hack onto the Reinhardt. Unfortunately, can't quite get it as that Zarya does turn around and get a little bit of a beam in, but MacyG does find the kill onto Flappy instead. Misty does get hacked, but able to get back to his team on time so that no kills do come through on that. As now Tommy B able to just spam for free onto ReVamp there, who is stuck in that little room for a little while. And that Baptiste does eventually fall. Mortality Field falling first, and Tommy B once again finding another kill onto the cut. The Pharaoh just being so powerful on this point if played properly, which Tommy B has shown so far. He knows exactly how to do that. Looking for an extra little stall pick onto Baptiste once again. Not going to be able to find it, spamming at that spawn door, and decides to back out and play a bit more passively with his team once again. Now decides to spam over the top and looking for the barrage. He's waiting for the ball to slam in, and there it is, and he finds the pick onto the cuts first, and forces out the Immortality Field as well, which MacyG quickly breaks. And now Jamyoole pushing quite aggressively, but not too aggressively, not overextending. MacyG does find the pick onto Waifu, as well as Tommy B finding once again that Baptiste as he just tries to get back into the spawn. Unfortunately not able to make it. Jamyoole looking much, much stronger here on this defense, being able to rotate their ults properly. You do see as well iMustache switching over onto the Hog as Waifu switches over onto the Sigma as well. As Mr. X switching over onto the Echo, hopefully being able to contest that fire a little bit easier. The mines do come out from Misty, but looks like they're not going to be able to get any kills. And now Antarctic as well, having to leave his He'd leave his Mercy to pocket that ball a little bit to heal him up again. But Tommy B still having enough damage output there to find the kill onto Mr. X. And now flanking around the back to try and find more kills as Antarctic whips out the Glock and takes out Waifu on the point with that Valkyrie. Definitely a nice play there as the cut does flank around. He's fine Sinon, which if his team can regroup and push quickly might be enough, but no, it's not going to be because the Resurrect is there from Antarctic. And ReVamp definitely struggling here. Missy actually falling very, very low there to Mr. X's spam. But that's going to be healed right up by Antarctic for a bit of ult charge. And Antarctic once again back up to 40%, with Sinon holding on to his ult as well. The EMP barrage is here as well. EMP comes through, does find 5, and here comes the barrage. Can't find anyone, finds the cut, almost takes out that Zenyatta in Flappy as well, but not quite going to be enough. As Mr. X does take out Tommy B, but looks like that res is going to be coming through, as well as the extra few picks from the rest of Jamyoole, who are able to clean up the rest of that team fight.
60 seconds remaining.
And Jamyoole looking much, much stronger on this defense. Definitely what we were hoping to see. Tommy B now looking for a pick onto that Zenyatta if he can get it, and almost does. Not quite, just barely missing that extra direct shot. And now the High Noon coming out of the cut as well after finding Antarctic, which is a massive pick for the side of ReVamp. Allowing the team to push onto that far a little bit better as Mr. X does push, but unfortunately gets hacked by Maisie G and is taken out. Great peel for the side of Yoinkers, or of Jamyooles, excuse me. As Fletch First does get those extra few kills. God, my brain and my voice are dead. Jamyoole actually being able to turn that fight around quite surprisingly, even with the pick onto Antarctic at the very, very start.
10 seconds remaining.
And it looks like I'm going to be holding here. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. We do see Jamyoole trying to body block that ball from touching point, but instead of body blocking, end up just killing that ball as soon as he gets there. And now the Transcendence as well, just stall point as long as possible, hoping Mr. X can get something done on that. MP does come through as he gets demaxed, and he won't be able to pop it. And once he gets hacked as well, I mean, he won't be able to use that bomb, even though he did get it quite early. Tommy B as well finding that kill onto Waifu with the barrage. But does get taken out for it by the cut, and the Resurrect might not be available. Yes, it is, as Antarctic is able to find a safe space to res from, as the cut does chase him down, but it won't be enough, as Jamyoole actually do manage to hold this point.
I think they definitely they did. I mean,
Play of the
it
Tommy
looked
B
a
will play
lot
it again
less
as well.
over ulty. Can't find the word for it, but yeah, they definitely didn't over ult as much that round, and it was a very solid hold from Jamyoole.
Tommy B here with the play of the game. This is where he just said he's sick of that recontest, and he's just going to carry his team to victory, as he basically solo carried that point.
traveling to Eichenwalde.
Um,
Initiating
Oh, my bad.
so finally, Jamyoole are able to take at least 1 point away from ReVamp, and they might be looking for a reverse sweep here. It is possible still for Jamyoole to win this game, and if they keep performing like they did in that defense right there, it won't be too much of a challenge for them. But unfortunately for them, it is ReVamp's map pick.
It does look like Jamyoole is looking for a small break here. So
Um, yeah, Jamyoole looking to take 5, which I
think
personally
the
am not
team are okay
against.
with it.
I do need to do something for my throat right now, as I am out of
Right.
water. So I suppose we'll take a little bit of a 5-minute break here. We have done 3 maps, to be fair. We'll be going to Hanamura next when we get back. But yeah, we'll see you then. And we're back. Okay, looks like everybody is once again back in the lobby and ready to get things going. We will be going to Hanamura um, for this next map with Jamyoole choosing to attack first.
Initiating match.
Um, I do hope to see some of that famous Jamyoole double bubble. I know they do like to run it on this map, especially on attack. Um, but once again, I don't know what to expect to come out of ReVamp. So definitely gonna be very interesting to see.
Ready.
They definitely have the option of either like holding the choke as much as they can, because it is one of the best chokes in the game. Otherwise, they could play with the high grounds here, since the first point is surrounded by high grounds.
Attackers incoming.
It's also
30
another
seconds.
strong alternative, although it does split them up and make it more vulnerable to a dive. I guess we'll see that. So far, it looks like ReVamp are going for the Ryan, so I'd expect them to play for that choke and try to make the most out of it.
Yeah, the Ryan Junk is very good for playing that choke, but they also have that Diva there to contest the high grounds if
Four.
Jamyoole do play for those high grounds, which it looks like they will be doing with the ball Diva comp here once again. But Tommy B this time playing the Genji instead of that Pharah, which is definitely a favorite of his. We do see as well though the cut already on a flank on Tracer. Pretty much go and try pick off maybe one clip one of those supports if possible. As Maisie G as well teleports over the high ground and goes try and hack that mega health pack for his ball, who does swing in there right after him.
We
Tommy B
let the
taking a
fight
bit of
happen.
poke damage, yeah. Taking a bit of poke damage off the choke, just trying to spam into that Rhine a little bit, trying to get some ult charge available. As Missy actually finds a slam already onto the Mr. X and does take the pick. Maybe a bit of lack of communication there as Mr. X does fall without any support. And we do see the cut looking for any picks he can get on the backline of Jamyoole, but it's not he's going to be forced to retreat as Macy G gets a hack onto Waifu on point and does get the kill as well. Tommy B cleaning up onto that Baptiste Bergkank as well. As now Jamyoole just cleaning up this fight here with just the cut left alive on the Tracer. Stalling a little bit as long as possible, but a very quick, very clean point A for Jamyoole.
I was gonna say here that I would expect Maze G and Misty to play together here and look for dives that both of them can follow up on, but it appears that was not necessary as Misty picks up just cleans up a kill on his own, so putting Jamyoole in a very favorable position here.
Tommy B as well has the ultimate available, has already deflected the hook out of that Roadhog on iMustache. And now probably going to be looking for that blade if he can get a little bit of support first. And here he goes for the backline straight away, but a nice shield bash out of that Brigida to shut him down very, very quickly with the damage coming out of that Zenyatta in Bergkank as well. Mr. X does find Misty as well with the hack on the side of point as well, but Silent does find the kill to Mr. X as a trade as well. The cut finding a D-Mech onto that Diva as Flappy takes out Antarctic as well. Antarctic getting stuck on the left-hand side there by that mini health pack.
I think what really cost Jamyoole here is Tommy B now respecting the stun on Revamp's part here. A thing that didn't happen that very well could have happened is getting rocked, hacked, and pretty much deleted as soon as his mid comes out, which recently has been a pretty recurring theme for Genjis.
That's why Genji isn't the strongest he once used to be. I think Tommy B might have been going for that Brigida first, just to stop that stun possibility from coming through. As you do see Flappy as well playing with the Zenyatta and looking to try to scout for that Soundbar and do a bit of peel if necessary. Missy does go in very, very deep on his own at the start, does get hacked. The hack as well coming through from Missy G onto that Sigma Waifu as well as the EMP finding Waifu again as well, getting that double hack. Iron does fall first though, as Waifu, even while hacked and EMP'd, finds Maisie G on the point with a bit of support from his backline. The cut as well finding Signon as the Transcendence is there from ReVamp to clear the point of all those mines that came from Misty. And now, once again, it looks like ReVamp are just going to be cleaning up this fight. Fletchworth is deciding to jump off the map if possible there. The hook was missed by iMustache, who tried to get that hook in to stagger that Diva a little bit longer.
I definitely
Yeah, go ahead.
thought more was gonna happen with that EMP here, especially since when the fight starts moving towards the point, Sombra can easily throw that translocator up the high ground there, right above the point, which is a very strong position.
Missy diving
Makes
in
it
very,
easy to
very
hack.
early here with his Sombra, but He's probably gonna get punished for it and get taken out. Yes, he is. He gets hacked, discorded. That was a very questionable push, pushing in solo like that. Meiji also didn't really look ready for that dive either, as he was dueling that Brigida on the side. And now the regroup is going to be there for Jamyoole, and they're going to have to wait an extra few seconds. As the stick is well coming through from the cut onto the Sinan, and that's once again a massive pick, and Jamyoole still can't push, even though Misty is just back. And Antarctic is on the Brigida this time, not running that Mercy, so there's no res either. And that
Here,
Sinan as well on that ball is going to take a while to, or on that Zen's going to take a while to get back in the cut, as well as Mr. X do find him and take him out once again.
meanwhile, in the back, Puppy's doing a really good job at zoning out the Sombra from getting to the high ground. Just AFKing by the door is enough to stop the Sombra from getting in a position where she can follow up on dives.
Yeah, Flappy just keeping that flail whipping around the place. And finally, Macy G does fall on that Sombra, as does Misty on the ball, who went over to try and peel, try to help a little bit if possible. And here we have a pause. Very questionable play coming out here of Jamyoole, I must say.
Yeah, here, oh, it looks like they are ready. Yeah, I was gonna say, Jamyoole not really grouping up. I mean, not grouping up. They're not really converging on one target, as that dive comp really is strong for.
And they're
More
not
so
even
trying to,
grouping up either.
yeah,
They are just pushing
they're
in
not.
solo um, as if they can get the solo limbs, which they got lucky to get on point A, but they're not going to be able to get it again a second time, especially against a team like ReVamp, who we've seen been holding their own very, very well. And that bomb dropping just a little bit too low, unfortunately, for Fletchworth. Not even going to be able to find any kills, as the mines do come out onto point from Misty, but the EMP is there to clear them straight away, as well as that Graviton Flux out of Waifu as well on that Sigma. And now Imosash just tanking a load of damage from those mines, charging up his ultimate a little bit more, as well as his supports. And
I
Bearcank
think
almost on another
what
trance.
I think what Jamyoole is trying to achieve there is have Sombra force the objective, and as Revamp start to drop the contested, they throw the bomb and I mean, they get caught by the bomb, but I feel like maybe that was a miscommunication on the timing, or maybe that wasn't planned, but I think that's what I expect.
Misty again
That's what I
overextending
would have
slightly. I
expected.
think he might have gotten hooked there and pulled in a little bit too deep and got taken out. And now we do see ReVamp once again pushing in quite aggressively here. Fleshworth's forced to jump off the map after being demeched. Silent getting picked off as well, and now all of Jamyoole once again regrouping all the way back to spawn. Misty though deciding to take a 1v1 against that Tracer, but he gets hacked in the process. That Tracer able to escape, but will Misty be able to get out of there? Looks like he will, thanks to a little bit of help of Tommy B. Tommy B now does have the blade available once again. Probably hoping to get a little bit more done with it this time around. They do know that the EMP isn't available, so the only thing he has to worry about really is that that stun from the Brigida. But the Transcendence is there, the EMP not hitting the Zenyatta, unfortunately, and Tommy B just having to fall out. Not going to be able to get anything done with that blade either. Macy G though does find iMustache with that Sombra pick on point. Mr. X does find the DMAC onto Fletchworth, but it's not going to be enough just yet, as Jamyoole are cleaning up these kills one after the other, and now the bit of a body block coming out of Misty as well onto iMustache, and that's going to be just enough to stop the ball from recontesting the point. And finally, with 22 seconds remaining, Jamyoole capped the point.
I'm really surprised that even through that transcendence, like Jamyoole, I mean, through that transcendence from, I think, Beardkank, I
Yeah.
think? Yeah, I think it was Beardkank, yeah. I think even through that transcendence, they still managed to lose the point. I think the confusion created by the EMP was enough to turn the tides for Jamyoole here.
I think as well, Beardkank was looking out for Tommy with the with that blade out and just making sure that he couldn't get any extra picks just of people who played outside of the trance's range. So he played very slow with that trance when he could have played more aggressively for his team.
Although it definitely would have made sense for Maze G to look for that Zenyatta and maybe even force it out beforehand.
Yeah, Mace G.
That play felt a bit rushed. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, to be honest, it felt a bit rushed, but it worked out in the end, so can't complain too much.
Yeah, I do agree entirely though that the Zenyatta is a very, very important pick for that EMP to hit. Not only for Transcendence, but also because that EMP, of course, does get rid of all that shield HP as well, meaning Zen does drop to 50 HP. So that would be a very easy pick. But we do see the Jamyoole favorite of the Sigma Hog with the Pharmacy coming out on this defense. Fleshworth's trying to use that Rock Tech to jump up onto the high ground on top right, but unfortunately not going to be able to do it just yet. And we'll hop on board here with Tommy B, see what kind of spam he can get onto that spawn door as it opens up. We do see a Symmetra Junkrat strat coming out of ReVamp here, looking for a brawl on point. As soon as they can just TP there, they'll just try to swing on point with that Reinhardt and do as much damage as possible. The boop coming through a little bit too early from Tommy B, but the rockets are just on time to find Mr. X before any mortality field or supports can come through. Also finding Flat B as well, as that TP unfortunately timed incorrectly for the side of ReVamp, and Jamyoole able to clean it up very, very quickly.
What I feel like was really crucial for Jamyoole here was Pharah scouting out the Symmetra early and having the tanks be ready on point. It made that Symmetra play a lot weaker than it could have been.
Especially because that Symmetra did TP straight onto the point, but now Mr. X and the cut switching over to that Tracer, Hanzo, and the tank line instead as well, switching over to that Sigma ball comp that we've seen them run so many times so far this game. We've seen out this Mustache on the ball, trying to push that fire a little bit, but going to get picked for it as Macy G finds that cleanup pick as he goes out through the choke there towards his own team. Mr. X though finding a nice clean headshot onto Macy G there, thanks to the sonar arrow that he shot previously. We do see Tommy B hunting for that Tracer in his backline, but that's going to be making a lot of space for the rest of ReVamp to push through, as already Mustache has swung right past the choke and is getting into position now in the back right to hopefully get a pick, or at least engage in a better and safer place. Mustache is forcing point, and now it's a ball v hog on point. And the barrage comes through from Tommy B, does find one Barrett Kank, but Mr. X shutting it down as quickly as possible. Misty, though, with the whole hog on point, can he find anything? Looks like no, he can't, thanks to the stun out of that Brigitte and Flappy, but Flappy going to be taken out as well. An unlucky boop attempt from Mustache, almost finding Misty, but not going to be able to get quite enough distance. And now Mustache forced to fall out.
Honestly, I would not have expected that much more of a Fire ultimate. It is a bit of a suicide ult, and getting even one kill isn't too disappointing.
Especially if that one kill is Zenyatta, which is a massive pick for this kind of comp, where any bit of healing you can get matters a lot. Bearcank though gets a nice juicy 5-ball onto Misty, and the res coming through as well. It gets rocked, but unfortunately the res does come through fully just before that happens, and because of that Valkyrie, Antarctic is going to be able to escape with his life. Fleshwurst as well with that Seagull on point, finds a kill onto Waifu, but the mines are on point as well from Mustache, making sure that Jamyoole couldn't recontest too severely, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough, as Tommy B flying around is able to clean up with an extra bit of damage for the side of Jamyoole. And Jamyoole once again on these defense looking very good.
Yeah, so far the ult usage on the part of Jamyoole was very deliberate. Nothing has really been wasted. Just really efficient ult economy.
A nice hook though coming out from Mustache. Switch over onto that hog, which Misty did not see coming, and gets hooked and picked out really early here. And now the rally as well coming from Flappy to keep his team alive, as well as the Transcendence from Barrett Kank. And now Tommy B probably looking for a barrage here as soon as that Transcendence drops, especially because he has the Transcendence on his own side as well. Flying around the side here, can he go for it? Yes he can, there it goes, but Waifu in a perfect position there to eat all that up, as Mustache as well finishes off Tommy B before any kills can come through. Mustache, or the cut as well, finding Sinon, as Misty does find the boop onto Waifu. Is it going to be enough though? I don't think so, as Mustache and Barrett Kank working together very well on point there to clean up those tanks. And now the stagger coming through onto Maisie G. Not too severe of course, because the respawns are pretty quick for the defenders on point B, but still every little helps. And finally the point as well does go over to the side of ReVamp, who are now moving on to that high ground.
I cursed Tommy B saying that every ultimate was deliberate, and here it looks like there wasn't much communication on the part of Jamyoole, making sure that Sigma the eating ability, the DM, the defense matrix from Sigma and his shield weren't out of, on cooldown. It seemed like he just went in there.
Unfortunately, the hook there out of Mustache does break, but the pulse bomb is there instead from Fleischwurst, or onto Fleischwurst from the cut, and that is a kill. And it looks like it's going to be a very tricky res for Antarctic to go for, and he decides not to go for it because there is a Tracer camping that body. Waifu as well finding Sinon on the point, and now Mustache with that whole hog on point, looking to clear off any recontesters, and is doing so very successfully, as Missy does get on point with the mines, but is going to get blasted off straight away. And now the recontest is coming through once the whole hog is down. But still, no kills for Jamyoole. It's all eye mustache and Mr. X in that kill feed. The cut as well, following up with Waifu, cleaning up Jamyoole here. And it looks like the point is going to turn over. Final tick. There it goes. 2 minutes 32 seconds left on the clock for the side of ReVamp.
I will say there, I find it very comedic how both snipers, how the snipers on both teams were on the same high ground for a good 5 seconds before noticing each other.
I did not notice that, but that is some pretty good stuff.
That is pretty good. Yeah, definitely a faster attack from Revamp's side there.
Much cleaner,
They were
especially
more
for that point B.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they were definitely more decisive with how they wanted to approach the point and didn't waste much time setting up the fights and closing them out as well.
Yeah, Jamyoole did look very, very good on their first point hold, but unfortunately they weren't good enough to full hold it. And their point B, unfortunately, they just kind of got steamrolled. But finally, we are going to be seeing this double bubble come out of Jamyoole with Misty on the Winston and Simon on the Ana as well. I expect to see Misty just kind of take a lot of poke damage at the start, try to charge up Sinan's Nano, and then diving in with his Echo on his back to hope to find a few picks.
Um, I think the pick for the double bubble here is just probably because they felt like Misty was I mean, was getting stunned a bit too much for his liking, for their liking, sorry. Um, yeah, maybe the double bubble can be an answer for. They asked for a pause there, but maybe this double bubble could be an answer to the
Those
one in a
stuns.
yeah, to the stun.
We do see as well though, Revamp running that Sigma Hog again, which they seem to be working pretty well. That Sigma Hog or Sigma Ball comp has been working quite well for them so far this match. And yeah, it looks like they're going to be running that once again on this defense with Mr. X on the Junkrat and the cut once again on Tracer, which he's been absolutely popping off on, to be fair. And Flappy and Birdkank on that Briggs Zen comp as well. Definitely the cut MVP DPS of his team. Once again, Mazy G teleporting in onto the backline. But this time he actually gets spotted by the cut and probably might be able to escape. Oh, gets Translator just in time to be able to escape there. As Tommy B does jump in as well for the rescue. As both DPS are able to escape with their lives. I'll hop on board here with Misty, see if he's taking any poke damage for that Ana. Looks like he's not going to be standing in choke for too long. Instead, opts to dive onto that high ground. Looking at the time bank on the clock, knowing they only have 30 seconds left. But Mr. X, though, finds Silent, who's left kind of alone at the choke. And an easy 1-2 combo to find that elimination. And now Misty kind of caught out of position here. He's going to struggle to fall back or to even touch point. Now that the cut is on the chase with the Junkrat as well. Misty and Tommy B stuck on that high ground against the Junkrat. Tracer combo is not going to be very easy for them. As Mazy G is forced to touch the point to try and force the overtime, but did he touch on time? No, he didn't. Just a second too early before disengaging, and the overtime isn't forced. And unfortunately, Jamyoole not going to be able to get any progress on that point.
2 to 2.
That pick by Mr. X onto the Ana was really, it really came in clutch and like delaying the fight enough for Jamyoole, for Jamyoole not to be able to touch.
I do think that double bubble comp requires a little bit more setup, especially, you know, playing quite slow on that Winston to charge up the nano boost for your Ana. And I don't think Jamyoole actually had enough time in the bank to begin with there to run a comp like that. But as you say, that pick from Mr. X onto that Ana is absolutely crucial for that fight win and to stop any contesting from Jamyoole. We do see once again the same defense coming out of Jamyoole, and I believe we'll be seeing the same attack as Revamp picked at the end to actually cap the point with the Sig Hog. Mr. X staying on that Hanzo as well. The cut on the Tracer once again, which definitely seems to be his star pick. As Fletchworth's actually succeeding the rock jump this time, getting onto that high ground, getting a shield available for Tommy B to use if necessary. Tommy B once again trying to scout to see if that's another symmetric comp. Flying over top, getting a bit of spam damage in as well. Unfortunately, not able to find any picks, but what can you really expect? A nice hook on a Misty. Unfortunately, just get blocked by that little light post as Waifu able to escape there with his life. Fleshburst and Misty though both falling very, very low here as Misty and Waifu trade in the limbs, and Silent though finding Mr. X as well as the res coming through onto Misty, meaning this fight's probably going to be won by Jamyoole as Tommy B cleans up the extra few kills on the side of the point right there. We'll try hop on with Tommy B once again as he does a bit more scouting and a bit more spamming towards the spawn of ReVamp. Looking for that Zenyatta pick if he can find it, but looks like he can't as that Zenyatta's playing very, very smart under that high ground and forcing Tommy B out with that Discord Orb. ReVamp now though looking for a target to push in on as they decide to push right side with the tanks. Misty though finding a huge pick onto Mr. X, or a huge hook I should say, onto Mr. X, but unfortunately I won't be able to find the kill as Meiji G though does find the kill that he needs onto Flappy and Waifu as well. Tommy B finds a kill that he was looking for earlier onto that Zenyatta as well as iMustache though taking out Misty and popping that whole hog, but unfortunately not going to be able to find any more kills as Silent is getting rezzed as well. I expect to see a switch here out of iMustache, yep, onto the ball.
ReVamp here not looking too sure about where they want to push from, and to making them easy targets for
Waifu
the DPS to pick up.
playing very slow in the choke there and already forced out both of his abilities and now booped into the middle of the point where both Ash and Farah can get a lot of spam damage in on him for free, as well as the Discord Orb as well. I'm surprised he's still alive. Misty now deciding to push in as well, but Misty pushing on his own, getting killed. iMustache still falling as well to Tommy B's barrage, and the Bob coming out as well from the side of Jamyoole. Going to make it very difficult for ReVamp to push past the choke. Mr. X as well getting caught out of position up on that high ground. Gets taken out by Tommy B. As well as Waifu getting caught out of position as well, pushing way too far to the right on his own. And getting picked by Misty, and looks like ReVamp going to struggle to touch the point here. iMustache does eventually make it there, but not going to be able to cap by himself as the rest of Jamyoole do come in to clean up that kill. And now the Gravitic Flux as well to stop that Doom and Mr. X from touching the point. And that's a draw.
Yeah, that was a very, very solid defense on the part of Jamyoole here. Really utilizing the, I mean, especially Tommy B utilizing the angles and the sight lines to put in as much spam as possible there on the Pharaoh.
Tommy B getting, a very nice kill there with the Genji onto that Zenyatta. Play the game as Genji. Definitely putting in the work, as we can see there. Finding 3 for that fight, where they finally capped second point. So, Tommy B definitely pulling his own weight this game. And it looks like we are going to a map 5. Which Jamyoole will be very happy about looking... Actually, Jamyoole can't win, can they, with a map 5? Because that was a draw.
Is it a best of 3 or is it a best of 5? I mean, first of 3 or best of 5?
That's the same thing, but it is, yeah. It's best of 5, first of 3, so...
Well...
I think that does mean it is ReVamp's win.
Yeah, because there's a difference, because
draw.
first of 3 goes on till someone has 3 here. If it's a best of 5, I think.
I believe it's best of 5, but I mean, we can play one more map anyway. I don't mind. Let's see what the teams think. We would be going into Oasis here. If we do decide to go for map 5. I'm not actually sure how to work this. If we can get... hang on, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna... Actually, no, I shouldn't. Corrupted, if you can... I'll message Johnny, actually.
Yep. 1 second.
Sorry about this, guys. I don't know why we didn't discuss this previously. I just suppose we just never saw a draw coming.
With 2CP in the map pool, I'm disappointed we didn't see a draw coming.
True. I think it's supposed to be best of 5. So I think it is supposed to be ReVamp win, but I'm not sure. So we'll ask for some help from some of the league's coordinators.
First of three.
I'm
Wait,
being,
but I mean, it doesn't mention really.
I am being told to go for control, go to Oasis next. So yeah, I guess we'll push on to Oasis and we'll do first to 3, I suppose.
Yep. If Jamyoole do win though, that means it's an extra map.
Welcome
Yeah.
to Oasis. Initiating match.
Looks like we'll be on Oasis University first, which is a pretty versatile map, I find. It can be run either with a brawl comp or a very aggressive like ball diva comp as well. We've seen quite a lot of. I think both comps can work very, very nicely. I'm curious to see what kind of comps these teams want to run. Looks like they're both running a variation of brawl, with Jamyoole opting to run with actually both sides now going with the Rhine Zarya comp. But Jamyoole opting to run that Doomfist actually instead of the Mei, hopefully to get a little bit of extra damage in. And Tommy B definitely been playing well on Doomfist and well on every other hero so far this game. So we'll see how he gets things done here. They have the Ana as well for that Nano boost. So hopefully that Nano Doom will be able to get some picks or at least make some space for Macy G to be able to, or for Misty to be able to push in aggressively. The Maywall though does come out early from Mr. X and does catch out both the tanks on the side of Jamyoole, but they're able to rotate around the side and get out with their lives as Tommy B pushes in very, very quickly there, does find the pick onto Bertkank, which is exactly what needed to happen as Misty does push in from the left side, finds 2 as well, and there's the cleanup on Jamyoole's side, with only Tommy B falling, but a very worthy trade taking out that Baptiste.
Yeah, taking out the immortality field from the fight. I mean, that's basically the only reason you'd pick him over Ana as well, is just to keep the tanks alive for longer and get people out of sticky situations. But yeah, it was a very, very smart play from Tommy B, going for that Batiste at the beginning.
I've also been told here that we'll be playing this map, and if Jamyoole win this map, it's just a draw for the overall game. So this is map 5, so it's going to be final map, no matter what happens here. And this fight already going in favor of Jamyoole as the kills are coming through from Tommy B and Misty as well. Tommy B definitely playing this Doomfist very, very well. Timing is engaged properly with his teammates and getting those all-important picks. We do see now as well the rotation coming through onto the left side from side of ReVamp as the Nano Boost comes through onto Tommy B on that Doomfist. He does find Bertkank as well, lifts him over that Immortality Field, and now Immortality Field is down, as well as that Meteor Strike combo with the Graviton Surge, and that finds, what, 5 kills? That's a 6k for Tommy B in that fight. Very, very well played.
Yeah, that was an absolutely massive combo from the side of Jamyoole here. I don't know if that was overall thing. They did use 3 ults to win a fight that maybe could have gone
A massive
their way
anti-nade
with
there,
the
actually.
Graviton.
Hits 4 by Sinon, and because of that, Tommy B does find a pick onto the cut as well. And now the High Noon as well out of Maisie G finds Flappy as well as the rest of the team just pushing forward here, finds the extra picks that they need to find. Fletchworst on that high charge, beaming down the enemy team as well. Sinon, as we saw there, not afraid to go aggressive if he needs to, goes for a little bit of DPS shots.
I was gonna say it does seem like they over-ulted, but ReVamp might not be able to touch at all, so.
We do see Missy charging in very, very aggressively here, might get picked off for it. Oh, nice counter stun out of Tommy B there to keep his Reinhardt alive. Unfortunately, though, he does fall for it, but Missy does get the kill onto Waifu. The High Noon through the amplification matrix there. Not able to find anybody, but Flappy absolutely popping off on the point here with the Lucio. And he finds 2 for himself, as well as helping his teammates pick up the extra few kills. And there was a lot of ultimates used by both sides, especially by ReVamp, but they have managed to turn the point finally.
It doesn't look like too bad a situation for Jamyoole here, even though they did lose the point there. They just need to win one fight, so here they're really looking to build ults and take their time looking for that perfect engage.
Missy does have that shatter available. It'll be interesting to see what I can get done with it. The Graviton Surge though does come through by iMustache and the beat as well out of Antarctic to keep people alive there, but will it be enough? Looks like it might be, as Waifu does miss the slam onto the Jamyoole's backline there. Just out of range, and now the Nano Boost coming through onto Misty, swinging on point, going to be able to find the kill onto iMustache's. Fletchworst and Tommy B clean up the rest of the kills on point. Macy G with the High Noon as well finds the cut, stops from any recontesting, and looks like looks like Jamyoole will be taking point 1. And now I've been told there are another rule change. Go to a map 6
Score
if Jamyoole will win this.
2-1.
Which type of map would that be then?
I
Ready for battle.
don't know, and I don't know what map to do it because I don't think we should let the teams pick a map because that's kind of unfair.
Hmm.
Because it gives the whichever team loses this an advantage in the last map. Hopefully, hopefully
We'll have
I'll be told exactly how to run that. If not, we'll be I'll send a few messages off to
3.
one of our moderators. It says another control, I've been told.
Round 2.
Okay,
Capture the objective.
so I guess we'll just play a control map that we haven't done yet. I suppose we can go Lijang or something like that. Both teams here
okay.
pushing the right side. The double bubble coming out of actually sorry, it's a Monkey Diva comp coming out of Jamyoole here. Another team opting to run on that high ground. And instead both teams running running right into each other. The hook does come through out of Mustache, but unfortunately not able to get the kill as the support is there from Jamyoole. Fletchworth does find the kill into Flappy first. As Jamyoole now pushing in very, very aggressively here. Missy taking the 1v1 with Waifu, and that's not going to go in his favor. Winston v Sigma. He is taken out. Unfortunately, Mustache just barely missing that hook as well onto point. He does get killed as well by Fleshwurst eventually, and BZG finally burning down that Sigma as well. Looks like Jamyoole will be taking point first here. And they might be able to set up on the high ground. Tommy B looking to put his translocator up there maybe.
That
Or at
kind
least into
of
nine space.
head-on engagement is really favorable for Jamyoole's team comp here, opting to rush for for a rush style comp, where maybe the only thing more aggressive they could have is a Reaper, but even with that Tracer, it's still plenty of damage. Like closing in on the hack target.
Tommy B is taking an off angle here, spamming in at that Echo a little bit. Probably going to be looking for a hack here as soon as possible. As his team are rotating away, but Maisie G does get caught out by Mr. X and gets taken out eventually. Mr. X, though, does get hacked. Will the kill be able to come through? The Coalescence is there from Jamyoole, but the Gravitic Flux does take him out of the fight for just a moment as Misty pops that Primal, does find Mr. X, and Antarctic as well does fall, or does find Waifu. The MP comes through from Tommy B as well, but only iMustache is caught and killed by that. Misty as well taken out by that Zenyatta Barret Kank. And now Jamyoole are up still by 1. The bomb as well coming out of Jamyoole. Interesting plays here as we do see Flappy there saving his Zenyatta and popping Rally. As well as Macy G. Macy G actually finding a pick onto Mr. X, sticking with that Pulse Bomb. But the Rally is there to keep Jamyoole alive on point. Waifu up with a lot of extra armor here. Antarctic does fall to, or does find the cut as well. iMustache though with that Whole Hog finding the kill onto Misty. The Transcendence does come through as well onto iMustache from Barret Kank as well, just to keep him alive while he was using that Whole Hog. And now the beat and also Coalescence coming through from Jamyoole. They want to stay alive as long as possible, just to stall the point, try to get to 99 before losing the point. If they lose the point at all, that is, as they're actually pulling back and winning this fight now, getting a lot of kills, already killing that copy from Mr. X as well. He copied the Tracer and got killed instantly, and Misty finding the kill onto the Echo form as well. Now it's just the cut on the Tracer, stalling point as long as possible, but he does get hacked, and it looks like Jamyoole are going to be winning this fight. Maybe not, though. They find the EMP onto iMustache as he tries to recontest. He does fall as well as Waifu, and now Barret Kank on the Moira fades onto point. ReVamp doing as much as they can just to stall point as long as possible. They want to win this fight, but it looks like they're not going to be able to. Mr. X does fall. Flappy right after, and this stall is incredible out of ReVamp here. They're touching point one after the other, another, but unfortunately they have no kills to speak of, as Jamyoole are just absolutely rolling them here. And finally, that is the end of the map. Jamyoole taking map 4, or map 5, technically. Oh, that's weird.
Well, that was a very long stall from both sides actually. It's,
Tommy B play the
in
game, of
control
course.
in general and this map specifically, yeah, it's really easy for whoever has the point to just stay on it, keep stalling over and over with fast heroes. It feels like most heroes have a very easy time just making it back to point really fast. Unfortunately for that second contest, ReVamp couldn't. I mean, the whole map felt like. Sorry, I can't find the words. It felt like it was like one whole. It was just one long fight. That's what it felt like to me. There
Yeah,
wasn't
I
really
agree.
any
It was very, very messy. There's no clean, apart from the first fight, the entire rest of that game felt like one big long fight. A lot of ultimates being constantly invested as soon as they got those ultimates online. They were invested straight away. Um, and I am black screening in Overwatch right now.
Ooh, that is
Are we in back in lobby right now? Supposed to be?
nope. I'm on black screen as well.
Interesting.
Oh, we might have to restart the lobby here.
Not too much of an issue. The scores are all tied up at the moment, so we will be going to Lijang Tower for map number 6, which I don't think the teams can draw. I hope not. I mean, we never know. Um, yeah. I mean, I feel kind of bad because I did jokingly say that we'd do a map 6. If we if we did a map 6, we'd go goats on King's Row before this game with the players. But I did only mean that as a joke. We are doing Lijang Tower, proper comp rules, because a map 6 is necessary. I did not expect to see this coming. A very, very close game so far. Um, Jamyoole as well looking for that reverse sweep.
Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to make a new lobby here. And nope, my game is just simply black screen period. So that's gonna call for a restart.
That is unlucky, but that should be okay. We should be able to pull things back together. Just give us 1 minute to sort out these technical difficulties. Okay, we are back. Technical difficulties hopefully sorted out here, as we are now pushing on for map number 6.
Now arriving at Lijang Tower.
As you can hear, it's going to be Lijiang Tower.
Initiate
Yeah, another control map, so a draw won't be possible. So we're about to find out who's going to win this bout between these two teams. It has been quite an interesting match so far. Um, both teams dominating on certain maps and certain points within certain maps. And also both teams absolutely flunking on some points. Um, so it's been a very, very interesting game. Some messy fights, some very clean fights. Yeah,
Yeah, as you say, so far it's been really exciting. At the beginning, we definitely thought ReVamp was gonna take it 3-0, but Jamyoole doing a very good job of not letting that happen so far.
Yeah, Jamyoole
Um,
really showing why they won last season. And coming back, looking for that reverse sweep, as we said earlier. Both teams running a brawl comp here on Control Center. Once again, Tommy B, though, on that Doomfist. Versus the May McCree comp, actually. The cut switching over to McCree at the very last second. He's going to be very late back to the fight here, if he can get back at all. Maywell, though, does come out of Mr. X, though, but it's not going to be enough, as that Anozipto will just walk around the side and nade his team, as well as some of the enemy team. As Imustache does bite the dust first. Macy G as well, finding Flappy as Misty takes down Waifu on the point. Ryan's swinging up against each other. A nice charge on Misty as well, finding Mr. X as he goes more aggressively here. And the reset is going to have to come through for the side of ReVamp.
I'm
But you
not
see
really too
the
sure
cut on the side
on
looking for a
that
flank.
play of. Oh yeah, I'm not really too sure on that play for. I mean, on that play of getting the McCree, the Symmetra to switch onto the McCree, like leaving him essentially out of the fight for up until the crucial moments happen, leaving Tommy B uncontested mostly.
Yeah, definitely that switch onto McCree did open up Tommy B for a lot of aggression. The Nano Boost onto the Doomfist already coming in, and he gets flashbang, but that's not going to be enough to get the kill, and Tommy B still opening up enough space for his team to push forward. Misty, though, does go a little bit too aggressive as he gets taken out on that Reinhardt. Tommy B, though, not done yet. Still looking for as much damage as he can get out, but the amplification matrix is there for the side of ReVamp, but the tire coming through gets destroyed. Poor Mazy G there, unfortunately not able to get any kills, but the Grav and Meteor Strike combo coming through from Jamyoole. Not going to be able to find any kills directly, but a few picks do come through, and a nice charge once again out of Misty. I don't know how Barrett can just survive that pin, because it did go past Immortality Field, but it still happened, I guess. Tommy B cleaning up on points as well, finding the cut and Mr. X.
Yeah, in a brawl v brawl, it really is a game of cooldowns, and here we saw it in the Grav with Tommy B's ultimate. He didn't wait for both bubbles to come down, making it so it didn't get as much value as he would have wanted.
You see a different rotation here, a different push angle from the side of ReVamp. As Misty is just making space here, pushing back, and goes for the slam, and both Ryans actually go for the slam, but Fletchwurst has a nice bubble there to block that for his team, as Misty does get grabbed and killed in the corner there, and the beat as well coming through from the side of ReVamp, making sure that all the ReVamp's members stay alive in order to win this team fight. Tommy B does find the kill onto Flappy, but that's not going to be enough, as Fleshwurst is the one last alive left on point. God, I can't speak. And he does get taken out, but it still did stall to 99%, and it's going to be last fight here for Jamyoole if they manage to take this. As you see Tommy B look for a flank as well. The hack almost comes through from the cut, but Waifu finds Fleshwurst as well. Flappy finding Tommy B, who did kind of get stuck, dove in into the backline, tried to coordinate with his team, but there was a nice May wall coming out of Mr. X to separate and slow down Jamyoole's push there.
That was a bit of a misplay on Jamyoole's part here on the first part. I mean, on that first
Here comes the Nano Doomfist again, though, but the Blizzard to counter it, but unfortunately the Blizzard isn't going to be enough, as the tire does come through from ACG, finds Waifu, and Tommy B looking for as many kills as he can get, or at least make as much space as possible with that Nano Boost, and he does exactly that, allowing his team to push all the way to point. Misty kind of whiffing a shadow there, falling off the staircase just before dropping the hammer, but still doing enough to slow down the contest from ReVamp. Only Waifu being able to make it to point on time to force that overtime. And now Mr. X as well getting just grabbed off the point, not going to be able to touch with that Doomfist. Nicely played out of Jamyoole for the most part.
It almost seems like a pattern of Jamyoole keeping the point till 99 and having ReVamp use their ult to then come back in a fight where they're not at an ult disadvantage and making the most out of that opportunity to close out the map. I mean, yeah, the map. So that point was very well played by Jamyoole.
Definitely Jamyoole know exactly how they want to play on these maps, and they're executing it to perfection pretty much. And now Lijang Gardens here, definitely a more open map, and both teams opting to run that Echo Ball comp. I think we might actually have a mirror comp here, apart from Waifu is running that Sigma instead of that Diva. We do actually have exactly, well, actually Antarctic also on the Lucio instead of the Zenyatta, which we do see coming out of Barrett Kank as well. Both balls going right side, while the rest of the teams go on the coast. Apart from Sigma on the right side as well with his Zenyatta, keeping that Zenyatta safe as both teams just engage on each other just outside the point here on this close side. First DMAC coming through from the cut onto Fleshworst, but Tommy B finding the kill onto iMustache as well as the cut. Tommy B on that echo, getting a lot of work done here. Mr. X though retaliating, getting that final blow onto Fleshworst as the fight moves towards the point here. Mr. X also finding Sign on, and now Tommy B's going to have a very hard time fighting that echo duel on his own without that Mercy pocket against an echo that has a pocket. iMustache as well back already to the fight. It looks like he's going to be able to contest and maybe even win this fight and first point for their team. The copy already coming through out of Mr. X. That's a very, very quick ultimate. And now the double diva on, or the triple tank, I suppose, on the side of ReVamp is going to make it very difficult for Jamyoole to contest this point. But they're going to be able to do it just about, as Jamyoole are going to be able to stagger onto point one at a time. Silent finds the res onto Macy G as well on the side of the point there. And now it's a all-out brawl on point. Very, very messy, but Mr. X doing work on that echo. Finds 2 kills before Antarctic finds 1 finally onto Barrett Kank. And now the copy coming out of Tommy B instead. He takes that Tracer, looking for the pulse bombs if he can find them. And for some reason my copy went all the way down, or my game linked all the way to that ball. iMustache now looking to spin on point, stall for as long as possible. Still, nobody has actually capped the point. This is all still first fight. As Tommy B finally finds the kill onto Mr. X as well, who finally falls after dominating for so long. And now it looks like Jamyoole will finally get first capture of this point.
Here, the main difference between their team comps is that Jamyoole have sort of an all-out dive where there isn't really anyone left behind when they go for a target, making it a lot harder for iMustache and the cut to actually get any significant dives on. Well, it was a bit irrelevant for at the beginning of the fight since Mr. X ended up getting many kills just on his own, but
Mr. X falling very, very low here, and Waifu had already fallen as well, but the point almost turned by the cut, and iMustache, he went on a flank behind, and Flappy also manages to res Mr. X there, coming out of spawn, and Tommy B is taken out by the cut, unfortunately. Missy does retaliate, finding the cut as well, but Mr. X being able to recontest the point here. Tommy B gets resed actually, and able to finish off Mr. X, who was able to contest the point there and try to force the turnover, which he did manage to do. Now the Transcendence is well coming through from Barrett Kank just to keep the point alive for as long as possible. As the pulse bomb gets stuck to Waifu by Mazy G, and it looks like Jamyoole will be able to turn the point back into their favor. 36% on the clock and only 19% for the side of ReVamp. Both sides giving it their all here.
here we saw iMustache trying to at least force the objective and like relieve a bit of pressure from his team's spawn side. He did manage to flip the point, but not for long.
Just here Misty diving in from a very, very high place here as Mr. X copies the ball here and goes to swing in from the opposite side of the rest of his team. Will he be able to find the minefielder to place it on point or in one of these chokes here? Yes, he does. The copy as well coming out of Tommy B is onto the Sigma here, but not going to be able to find anything, unfortunately, as Mr. X does get the kills onto Antarctic with those mines, as the cut cleans up the rest of the team as well. You see Fleischwurst on that Baby Diva, stalling point as long as possible. Got to 75%, but ReVamp able to turn the point to their favor. Jamyoole,
That was very good how they managed to cap with only using 2 ultimates, so they're not necessarily at a disadvantage this coming fight.
Yeah, not only that, but Jamyoole not at 99% here. There is more than one team fight available, even if Jamyoole win this one. We see here both teams very split between coast side and pushing indoors as well. Looks like Jamyoole opting to regroup here and just play coast side. As both Echoes take that aerial duel. Tommy B falling very, very low there and does get taken out by the beam just as the Mercy Pocket does come through, but the res is available as well as the Valkyrie and beat drop for the side of Jamyoole here. And Tommy B does get his revenge and takes out Mr. X. And will he be able to stop the res from happening as well? Yes, he can, even through the Transcendence there that did try to come through from Barrett Kank to keep that res alive. And Fleshworst as well getting the kill onto that Mercy as well as eating the pulse bomb out of the cut. Very nice play out of Fleshworst there on that Diva. And now Tommy B once again copying the Sigma with that Echo. And looking to turn over the point once again, but the stall is huge. Stalling to 80% by Mr. X and iMustache.
Those 3 kills by Fletchworth were really, really impressive. He even managed to cancel an ultimate with his defense matrix. I feel like he almost solo-handedly won that fight for his team, I'd say. apart from the opening pick by Tommy
Yeah,
D.
definitely able to put his team on his back. Also, a very nice res out of Sign to keep Tommy B alive there once he was taken out. That's our last fight. Now, though, we do see the flank coming out of the cut, the cut, and I mustache. That's the word. And Misty finds the boob as well onto Waifu on the side of the map there as he was pushing in through the high ground, or the inside, I guess. Misty as well cleaning up on points, spinning to win, and spraying around and able to find the kills they need. And will that once be able to recontest the point? No, he won't. And it looks like Jamyoole actually able to get the reverse sweep and actually win this game, showing why they are the champions. They lost a few maps early on. Looked like they were going to get 3-0'd, but they're able to pull things back and um, they were able to end up getting that reverse sweep and hold in there.
I would say this map specifically, as the last map, not only did Jamyoole, not only were Jamyoole able to
Oh,
dish out very consistent teamwork and just focus on their win conditions, just to take the fight on without much individual, how do I say this? Without many individual plays, but not only that, but they did also have the individual plays to really show off. I would say that was
yeah,
really
definitely.
impressive to watch.
They did definitely
I
highlight their team's coordination as well as
Yeah.
each individual player's skill.
Mhm.
Especially on that last point, Tommy B and actually Fleshwurst on that Diva. As we mentioned earlier, getting 3 picks in one fight as well as denying that pulse bomb as well from the cut. Very, very well played here, and yeah, Jamyoole showing how they won last season, never giving up and just playing in the game till it's done.
I wouldn't say that necessarily that ReVamp played bad at all. In fact, their first two maps were really decisive and they played really well at the beginning.
hmm
The rest of the maps were a bit close, but it simply wasn't enough to stop Jamyoole.
Yeah, we do have to bear in mind like those 2 maps, like you say, they were quite convincing wins. Whereas every other win that Jamyoole had, they were at least close maps. It got more and more decisive towards the end for Jamyoole, who were able to keep things together and I suppose had the stamina to keep going. I think that little 5-minute break we took really, really helped them out.
They
Um,
had a very nice pep talk in that 5 minute break.
they must have. Um, anyways, guys, that has been it for this week of Johnny's Scrims. We had 2 3-0s in a row, and then we had this reverse sweep coming through from Jamyoole. It's been quite a week. Yeah, it's been very, very interesting to see, and yeah, we hope to see you back next.